every once in a while.
Guys, we're going to watch a harmful opinions video. We're going to go into, I heard there was a cat fight. Yeah. It's a lot of cat fights. And there's a lot of fights if you call them fights. Jake Paul is in the hospital with a broken jaw. Yay! Andrew Tate got 2 black eyes and a cut and a busted lip. Yay! And everybody's mocking him on Twitter. Yay! What a wonderful world. I heard we confiscated James, I have checked out on what's going on in Venezuela. I really have. I got to the point where I'm like, all we're going to do is just, bomb the little fisher boats, which is illegal, but I guess we big United States, we can do what we want to do, and confiscate oil. However, I want y'all to be on the lookout for something. Something's going to happen. Russia is on the way to Venezuela with an oil tanker. I wonder how that's going to turn out. I just gave up on. You know what? I gave up on Trump. When did I give up on him? When he would not walk away from Ukraine. And now we're giving Ukraine $8 million in 2 years. So $400 million this year. Now, oh, thank you, Melly. This year and 2006 and 2007. Sorry, 2026 and 2027. We still giving Ukraine money. I checked out. Probably like it did in Cuba during the embargo. They turned around. You might got a point there. I don't know. We about to find out because they should be arriving in the vicinities tomorrow. By the way, I'm drinking my. You know why I was late today? Them damn cats. Let me tell y'all something. Look, I don't wish to have kids. Oh my God. I said to myself, boy, these things are like kids. So Toby came because I got over here around about 3 p.m.-ish. Toby was waiting at the door. So I was like, okay, whatever. Let me give him some food, right? Then I came to the door at 7. Nobody was there. Came to the door at 7:30. Nobody was there. Came to the door at 8. I was like, okay, he's not here. So that means he don't want no food. I go into the I go into the kitchen because I think it was 9:30-ish. I go into the kitchen. No, I set the stream for 10 o'clock. I go in the kitchen. I'm quiet, by the way. Okay. I hear meow, 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 meow. And that wasn't Toby. That was midnight. I said, midnight? And by the way, I think midnight got to the point where she can feel me because I didn't make no noise. I just I got on these slippers. You can't see them, but and I'm too tall, but I got these slippers on, so I'm not making no noise in the house. Soon as I go into the kitchen, because I passed by the living room, meow, meow. I thought, that ain't Toby. I go, and as soon as I open the door, she greased me with that damn hissing. I was like, oh no. So I come back in here and I postpone the time from 10 o'clock to 10:30 because I got to play that game where I leave the door slightly ajar. Cats, read your thoughts behind the closed door. If I don't come to the door, the cats I feed will jump on my windowsill. I don't think they can reach the windowsill. So y'all know how that is. It's different if it was Toby. Toby, I can put the food in front of Toby and then just leave. Not midnight. Not midnight. Midnight, gotta have the door slightly ajar, bringing all the cold air inside. Then she gotta run to the door, run back, run to the door, hiss, run to the door, and I just take her food when I get tired of it. And when I take her food, then she want to act right. Because then now she instead of hissing, she's now meowing like, meow, meow, meow. I'm like, here. I call it all kind of names. Cats aren't as intelligent as human toddlers. They getting on my nerves. Today was not the day. Black Pearl, you are right. By the way, Black Pearl. I talked to an acquaintance of mine in New York, and she said that the eggs up there are $2. What'd she say? $2.68. So you were right. I was wrong. You were right. I said, I told one of my taters she don't know what she's talking about. And then I said, what part of New York? All right, guys. I want y'all to watch this video with me by Harmful Opinions because he's going to talk about Candace Owens. We're going to talk about Alex Jones, $1.98 at Aldi's in St. Louis. So, but eggs. Well, I did go see the eggs. Did I go look at the eggs when I was at the grocery store this past Tuesday? No. So they could have went down. They could have went down since I've been here. Anyway, I told you I have no reason why you can Google the eggs. I'm buying more tomorrow. I automatically assume people in my chat lie a lot because I have been a victim of being lied to so many times. Don't take it offensively. I automatically think you're a liar. Because I have been gaslit in my chat so many times where they tell me something. I go, really? I automatically, you lying. Christmas ain't here yet, but Merry Christmas to everybody. We live in a farming community. We get double yolk. Oh, for real, James. Send me some of them double yolked eggs. That's good luck. Did you know that's good luck? When you get double yolked eggs, you can't scramble them though. In order to preserve the eggs, you gotta the luck that comes with the eggs. When you get a double yolk egg, you gotta let it go sunny side up and give you good luck. Yeah, Christmas is Thursday, so no stream this Thursday, of course. Okay, let's go look at this video. All right, here we go.
I'll see people bringing up bits and pieces from Candace Owens' past, and one of the little nuggets of iniquity that always rears its ugly head is Social Autopsy, typically referred to as a doxing website.
I know he's the first person if it wasn't for Harmful Opinions, I would have never did my exposed video on her because I would have never did a deep dive into her. And Kiwi Farms. I know people want to sit up here and say, don't say Kiwi Farms, but I have to be honest. Harmful Opinions was the first, and then Kiwi Farms was the second. How do you think I learned how to get inside the site to see my docs? I learned from Kiwi Farms. They had a thread on her. Well, still have a thread on her. But back then, they had a way of getting into her site, and that's how I got inside the site, by the way.
An unreasonable characterization, and it was quite the sinister project. Here's an example of how they promoted themselves. Why bother arguing with someone over the hateful and harmful words they share on Facebook, when you can instead anonymously submit them to Social Autopsy? Let their employers read their words. I think it's valuable for people to be aware of this, but there's a problem with summaries I typically see. If you are a somewhat online individual, you've likely seen it laid out like this yourself. It normally goes, Candace Owens used to be a rabid liberal who was running a doxing website that targeted conservatives before she had her epiphany and became red pill black. Both parts of that kind of summary, though, are not very accurate. According to Candace, the sense in which she was a liberal was merely that she didn't understand labels. She describes the change not as a shift in values, but as an increase in understanding. She has stated that she never really was a liberal and that she was always a conservative.
I don't even know that I ever really was.
See, this is a lie, though. This is doing her grift. This is doing her red pill black grift. That's the thing. She said everything that she had to say to get people to embrace her. And it worked, baby. It worked like a charm.
Liberal, I didn't care about politics.
Yeah.
So you have to think about this. I'm just a girl that was trying to pay back my student loans. I wasn't involved in politics. I didn't really know what being a liberal meant, what being a conservative meant. I think at the end of the day, I was always a conservative.
According to Candace Owens herself, this get-out-of-jail-free card in the form of her totally flipping overnight is invalid. Additionally, the idea that social autopsy was meant to target conservatives is incorrect.
Yeah,
In practice,
it wasn't meant to target conservative. I don't know who's saying that. It was a doxing site. Anybody, because the doxing site started on the left first, okay? And the feminists, like, oh God, what was the name of them feminists? They came after her first. So it was going to affect the people on the left first, and then it was like, but to be honest, it was going to affect anybody. If you was on somebody on the right and you wanted to dox somebody, or somebody stanky, funky, and ugly like my cousin, you did just that.
Of course, it would disproportionately affect conservatives, but they're not who the gun was being aimed at. Candace Owens' doxing website was meant to target children. People at the time were concerned that minors might get caught up in this, but very, very few were aware that that was the entire point of the project. The version being crowdfunded for on Kickstarter was a test run for that. Here is Candace Owens in 2018 talking to Joe Rogan, explaining this.
And this is the social autopsy bit that the YouTubers were freaking out about. And they thought that it was a political machine, and it was going to be to help children. I felt
I'm not aware of this. What is
right.
the social
So
autopsy
it never
bit?
launched. It was an idea that I had to build something that would be like screenshots of what people said online, and like to put them in like a timeout. So I literally, we were going around, we were meeting with high schools, and saying like, we're thinking about building something for children that like, so instead of going to prison because you sent a mean tweet or a mean snap.
Oh, she did say that. Holy smokes, Chad, I forgot. She did say that. I guess I was so tuned out.
Like, what if you just couldn't like try out for the football team? You know what I mean? Like, what if like your teachers checked a database to see like how you were behaving online? Was it like naive going back? Like, sure. Like, but the idea that the feedback that we were getting from principals was like, first try on adults, because like if this goes awry, like to do this for children is like not going to be a great idea.
Firstly, it was a little bit more than incredibly naive, wasn't it? It was intensely retarded and dangerous. And secondly, this is a good example of why it still matters now. You can say, well, even that statement was in 2018. That's one of the last things she said about it. That's so long ago. The reason it hasn't come up again is only because she successfully lied so much. To me, when you deceive people and do not dispel it, you're engaging in an ongoing wrong for as long as you don't.
That's
and even
true.
that statement was a deception. She presents what she was doing in 2016 as cautious and responsible, seeing if it was safe for kids. There is a problem though. The year after the social autopsy stuff is when she popped off in politics as Red Pill Black. When social autopsy jumped back up to bite her in the ass, she would characterize it as a technology that they never got around to building.
We were building a technology, not a website. So what he was saying is this is a splash. This is a splash of what we were actually, we never built
It was
it.
not no damn splash page. It was functional. It was functional. It actively had files of people's pictures, of their real names, of their addresses, of their schools, of the things that they said, and links to their social media platforms.
That's the whole point you're missing.
Clearly gives the impression that this thing was just an idea and wasn't functional. They didn't even have the tech. However, social autopsy was functional, and it was driven by manpower.
Oh,
According
it
to their
was very
Kickstarter,
functional.
they had already made 22,000 profiles for people,
Right.
and that the funding was primarily to expand their team of web
Right.
analysts so they could make profiles faster. They also did, in fact, have the tech. The tech is a form. Social autopsy functioned by having people submit docs, including photos of the target, alongside anything nasty they've allegedly said online. That information would then be used by a human being to create or update a profile.
Have someone that you'd like to add to our morgue? Submit them. Our database is continually grown by anonymous submissions.
And this is why, listen, Candace was a diabolical savage back then. Now, because she kind of like hid her power levels to these dumbasses, I don't really care what happens right now. When I tell you I have checked out of the whole Candace Owens got to be stopped thing, I've literally checked out. I literally checked out. And to the point where there is a big civil war we're going to talk about. She's the center of everybody orbiting around her. Alex Jones, Megyn Kelly, Tucker Carlson, Ben Shapiro, all of these people are orbiting around Candace. And all I'm doing is sitting back and going, that's what you get. That's what you get. That's what you get. Ain't no more. I'm not even telling you I told you so. I'm not even doing that. I am sitting back silently cheering for her to mess everything up.
From individuals like you.
And that was not a mere mock-up for Kickstarter. That form was accessible, and because their web devs sucked ass, you could in fact check that they were collecting and storing what was submitted. Check out this picture of Hitler, archived forever on their now defunct website. In 2017, Candace hilariously tried to argue that that system does not constitute collecting information.
It didn't collect the information. If people are writing in the information, it was storing it. It was an archive.
That sophistry becomes even funnier when you realize the year prior, she had characterized her own system as a database that collects info.
Concern should be why these words are being said on the internet at all, not why a secondhand database is collecting the data based off of what's, shared.
Finally, we can get back to child safety and the idea that it was being run on adults first to see if it was safe for kids. There was, of course, nothing to stop you from submitting info about
Nothing. That's what I'm saying. I'm not going to curse, but my cousin submit all my stuff to this site. And I was like, and when I tell you, I never had my heart drop to my feet like that before. Woo! And because nobody cared, because they needed their DEI for the right. Let me say this, and I'll probably talk about this on my next channel. The right is begging for a black woman to tell them what to do. To my shock, by the way, I'm a fan. I'm not no Barb, but I'm a fan. I love her music. Do you know how many white Republicans was salivating over Nicki Minaj? I was like, wait, you know who Nicki is? Oh my God, I love her. I love her. I'm not a fan of Cardi B. I don't like her. She's so attractive. Oh my God, Nicki. I'm a Barb. The power of black women. She went, I saw the clip. The entire room was standing on their feet. Well, look here, Jethro. I don't think I ever seen you at a Nicki Minaj concert. I was like, whoa. So, not only is Nicki adored, but look like Master Charlie like Nicki too. And when I saw her, and I'm analyzing everything about her, the hair, the makeup, the nails, the dress, the shoes. I'm analyzing everything, and I'm like, she is working it. And she is a black woman who knows her power. Now, sometimes she gets a little drunk and start getting on her IG and start going crazy, you know what I'm saying? I mean, the whole Meg Thee Stallion was a crash out. I was like, log off, Nikki, log off. I did like, you lied on your dead mama. Your dead mama. You lied on your dead mama. You did. That part, I was here for that. But I was like, other than that one time, I was like, Nikki knows her power. And then Nikki understands that, you know what I'm saying, these people want to worship us. And when she put herself on that stage, you're going to have a lot of tribal blacks telling myself, you selling out, Mickey, you selling out. First of all, she's fighting for the Christians that are being slaughtered in Africa. I don't see nobody else doing that. I don't even see no white person advocating for that. Everybody's doing this whole Palestine crap. You got more black people chipping out over some Palestine that doesn't exist than you do about actual Nigerians, actual Africans that are being blown up, shot, R-worded, kidnapped, enslaved. Did you hear that part? Y'all want to keep mentioning about the white man enslaved? They are literally enslaving people in Africa. And I'm like, well, at least she fighting for it because ain't nobody else going to fight for them. So I was like, I said this tweet a while ago. I got to go find it. But I said, on the left, the white Democrats go crazy over Jasmine Ratchet, a.k.a. Jasmine Crockett, Whoopi Goldberg, and Mike. Over here on the right, Candace is the only thing they got. And look at what the hell she doing. So this is the very strategic, and I really like this for Nikki to come and speak at AmFest, because homegirl, honey, they got deep pockets over here, Nikki. They got deep pockets over here, Nikki, honey. They gonna love you. And when I tell you, ain't no love like them white Republican love, honey. You just got to get used to the touching and the feeling and doing all that kissing all over you. And it'll be all good after that. But yeah, I'm like, they want to veer off away from Candace, but who should they come to? That's a sincere question. When you need a black woman to tell you what to do, think, and to make you feel good, and you want to get away from Candace, who's the next person to go to? There is none. So Nikki can be put in that position though. Nikki can be put in. I'm okay. I hope it don't sound like I'm a hater. I love Nikki. Y'all have never seen me down. I have never talked bad about Nicki Minaj, ever. You may see me talk bad about Cardi B, and I have called Megyn a little thirsty, but I don't talk about Nikki like that. I like Nikki. Zay, do you think Jews' hatred is a distraction from Islam? Absolutely. Absolutely. Anybody, any woman, any Christian woman, okay, can go to Israel and you will not be stoned, you will not be punished, but there's nothing going to happen to you. And if you get R word out, God forbid, I hope that never happens to you. The man who did that to you will go to jail. Try that in Dubai. Can't wear no crucifix in Dubai. You can't wear no crucifix in Saudi. You can't wear no crucifix in any of these Sharia law Islamic countries. And they want to retcon it by telling you, oh no, it's not like that how it is. No, Sharia law. And as you can see, Islam, these people have lots and lots and lots and lots of babies. So Islam is growing as Christianity is declining. I'm sorry to tell you all this, but Christianity is on the decline. So what do? They got the money. And this is what Tucker, I want y'all to understand, Tucker is on the payroll of Qatar. So when these people sit up here and say, oh, you got $7,000 from Israel, they're projecting because Qatar is the one dishing out money. And these people you're letting these people in, and they multiply, and then they begin to take over small districts. Then they go to cities. Then they go to the whole entire state. And then you got the rabid whites who can't decide who they're going to hate, whether they're going to hate black people or Jews. Let me tell y'all something. As someone who knows religion, and I mean really know religion, I find it odd that everybody hates the originator of their religion. Honey, baby, let me tell y'all something. If it wasn't for Judaism, there would not be no Christianity, Catholicism. There would not be no Methodists, Protestants, no Mormons or Latter-day Saints, and there definitely would not be no damn Islam.
Boom! Headshot!
You all are Johnny-come-latelys after Judaism with the monotheistic religion. Judaism was the first monotheistic religion. There was some that tried, like in Egypt. I forgot the Egyptian pharaoh. He tried to start a monotheistic religion. It didn't work when he died, because when he died, the religion died with him. Judaism was successful. Judaism was successful after that. And there's a reason why it was created. So when I look at dumbasses, these neo-Nazis talking about Christ King, Christ King. Yeah, the Jewish God that you pray to is King.
Boom! Headshot!
No, he's not Jewish. He is Jewish. He was born to 2 Jewish parents. He was also, what was it? He was born to Jewish parents. He followed the Jewish holidays. And he also taught as a Jewish rabbi. And everybody was following him was Jewish. What you think he was, Christian? Nick, thank you so much for the $5, Zay. Nick Tucker are extreme Christians, but ignoring the spread of Islam, but blame the Jews. We have bigger fish to fry. It's a distraction because, okay, Zay, I'm about to rock your world, girl. You ready? Was it Akhenaten? No, it wasn't Akhenaten. Hold on. No, I don't think it was Square from Square. I don't think it was Akhenaten. I could be wrong though. Hold that thought. I'm gonna go. It was Akhenaten? Or are you teaching her how to pray? You know what? I'll search it on my own. Zay, girl, come to me. Come to me, honey. Listen to me. You want to know why Tucker Carlson and Nick Fuentes and all these other men are going against the Jews and supporting Islam? What is it about Islam that these Yakubian savages envy so much? Think about it, girl. What is it about Islam? What is it about it? What? Come on now. What is it about Islam that these men love so much? Who know that answer? Yep, it was former. Oh, you was a Hotep girl? There you go. Women. Monotheistic. Listen, I got to go through you guys' Christian stuff. Y'all going to have to go through what I really believe. Monotheistic religion was to control, capture, regulate women. It was to take our power. Are you really? It was to take our power and just suck it all out. Just suck it all out of us. Nature is not religion. The sun, the moon, the stars, that's not religion. We give birth, but we the Johnny-come-latelys. Human beings come from us, but we came from a damn man. Are you serious? What? You women can't dress like a man. You can't get, because see, let me tell y'all Christians something. You don't even read your own Bible, baby. Women are never to be priests, reverends. They are never to be on the pulpit. They are to be quiet. Y'all don't read your own books. See, like I said, when I say I know religion, I know religion. I know religion very well. And I know the purpose of religion. I'm not against it either. If you ask me, who would you support, Christianity or Islam? Since Jesus was the ideal person I would like to roll with, I would pick Christianity. Jesus didn't judge. Jesus fasted for 40 days, 40 nights. I love that. Because in order for him to fast to get to a higher vibration, he had to stop eating food that will lower his vibration. And in order to reach that elevated level, he had to fast for 40 days and 40 nights. And he was tempted by the devil, not the devil with the horns and the tail and the pitchfork. It was the devil of temptation. Sure you don't want this bread? Sure it's delicious. I got me some butter and some nice old jam on there. Or do you want some jelly? I can't figure. Get ye behind me, Satan. Get ye behind me. Get that temptation behind me. Loose me, loose me. I love the Bible. I don't read it the way y'all read it though. I don't see what y'all see. I know what I'm reading. I know it's in parables and I understand the lessons. Okay? I understand that. So it's not Jesus saying, oh, I'm the only one who could do this. No, he said in his own words, all that I do, you can do it too. But see, all the other religions after that, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. It is what it is. So it's about the control of women. If you understand how powerful you all are as women, I'm talking about this. I'm going mask off on my Patreon about it because it's time that I start teaching you ladies what's going on. You know what I'm saying? And when you understand who you are and you understand your powers, you ain't gonna be on here crying about no damn man. He ain't like me. He ain't what. I don't understand this, that, and the other. But because you don't know who you are. You have no idea. You have no idea who you are. And it's not your fault, to be honest. Because you was told that you are a Jane come lately. Islam is the most extreme anti-woman religion on earth. Do you understand? In their Quran, it says that the man who controls a woman with his left hand, or is it the right hand? Hold on a second. Is his, hold on, let me find, hold on a second. Hold on. The Quran, hold on a second. Because y'all know I used to be Muslim too. Am I placing right? Hold on a second. Okay, my placing was wrong. The Quran Why am I? Oh my God, dude, I can't. The Quran. Who you control with your left hand. I might got it wrong. Let's see. Who you control. Okay, it's the right hand. It's the right hand. Hold on a second. The right hand. Here we go. What your right hand possesses, meaning war, captivity, and slaves under a believer's care is ownership. Now, don't say that in the Bible. So in the Quran it states, if a man can control a woman, which they are genetically stronger than us. So if he can grab us with one hand, which is his right hand, he owns us. And there's no such thing as RAPE when it comes to Islam. And Muhammad was a PDF file. And all of this is to get at women, and in like the most horrific religion against women is Islam. Do you understand that there is no age limit of marriage? You know what I'm saying? They can get married to a little female child as soon as she comes out of the womb. They cannot consummate the marriage, but he can get married to her at any age she wants. 1 month, 1 day, 6 years, doesn't matter. Because it's all in getting us, owning us, using us. That's what it's all about. The left hand is for wiping, that's right. I don't know why I thought the left hand. It's the right hand. So this is the reason why there's no such thing as RAPE in any Islamic country. Because if a man RAPE you ladies, then guess what? You go to jail for adultery. You go to jail for having sex. But you're like, this was against my will. You are a woman. You're subhuman. You're a second-class citizen. You must cover up because a man doesn't have self-control looking at your body. So he got a problem, so you got to suffer all them those hot clothes, child, please. So right now, the white race is declining by their own fault, though. They got their own, listen, black people are put themselves in bad situations where they got to go to Walmart and everything behind a cage. It's their fault. It's their fault. Okay. I saw that on TikTok. I was like, dang, y'all gotta ask the person to get y'all a box of Clorox. They did it. White people declining, their fault. So what are the desperate men who, I don't blame white women not wanting. Listen, I look at these old pathetic white women that they got to choose from. Not all, okay? But the ones I see online chimping out about how we should not have any voting rights. The ones that's going around talking about how we need to be in the kitchen. Not working, being financially destitute and dependent upon our man. Girl, child, please. And women get the taste of freedom, and they're like, you know what? I don't want to do all that. I don't want to do all that. And then some women like, well, I'd rather just raise my kids with my community than to deal with this nonsense. So things are changing. So men have lost control in westernized society over women, over controlling women, dominating women, regulating women. They lost control. So they are embracing Islam because might makes right. And one of the most vicious, barbaric, violent religions is Islam. Hands down. Hands down. I know they had to sell them witch trials. I know they had the Inquisition. I know all about that. But, honey, the Ottoman Empire was nothing to mess with, honey. So that's the reason why they are championing Islam, because they want these people who are from Islam, the Muslims, to come and help them rein in their women. They're trying to get their white women reined in first. Because the rest of us are like, the hell you at? I'm not putting that hot ass burqa on. So that's why it's a distraction. Control the woman. Control the woman. You control the community. When they said a nation can rise no higher than a woman, what do you think that meant? These men are and they're getting more and more violent because they don't have anyone to replace their mothers. So in a way, I'm getting to the point where I'm like, I noticed this about me. I noticed this about me today. I now clown men about being fatherless, because I used to, about 3-4 years ago, I used to tease men about living with their mama. I think it has to be that way. It has to be that way. If they don't live with their mother, they have to go into the military. That's the way. So there's that. All right.
Minor. This isn't necessarily an issue in and of itself. If it's just a form, anyone could just write in a minor's details. What matters is what happens afterwards, what the analysts do with that. People were concerned about this, so they asked, what if a minor's docs is submitted? What if someone plugs in a minor's picture, details, state, school, and alleged social media accounts? First, Candace justifies their inclusion in Social Autopsy.
What about minors? We are seeing a lot of people that are showing concern for minors, and I guess it's sort of a two-pronged approach, which is first, you guys should be visiting the terms of service on Facebook and on Twitter, because they thoroughly explain what it means to be a minor and what you sign up and what you agree for when you check that box and agree to their terms of usage. Pretty much, if you are a minor, you are not excluded from anything if you are posting in a public place saying awful things.
And then, far from her 2018 claim to Joe Rogan, when she was trying to cover her ass by saying they were merely testing if it was safe, she argued it was safe and they would be included.
That said, we stand by the fact that we think the best time to be on our database is when you are a minor, because that's exactly what we're trying to do. We are trying to affect their conscience when they're young, so they know to use the internet more responsibly when they're older. There's no harm, no foul really if you're a minor, right? You have this profile for 365 days, you're not applying to college, you're not going out for a job. It doesn't do anything to affect.
Yeah, but the pedophiles will come get you, you dumb heifer. This woman reproduced. I didn't say she had no babies. I said she reproduced. Okay? All right?
your livelihood in any way.
Imagine
Stunningly
putting her kids
idiotic
on a
and
database.
reckless. When Candace isn't being defended on the back of an allegiance flip, which I think is irrelevant to this problem, she's talked about as if she was this young girl, didn't know any better, needed that year of self-development. Back then, in 2016, I was 25 years old. The problems were numerous and obvious to me, and had nothing to do with political persuasion. Candace Owens is older than me. Cut out this "she was naive" shit. You're looking at retardation. Would you like to see some more?
What if somebody creates a fake Facebook on profile and so the screenshots that are being
Oh,
submitted
this is good. This is a good one.
aren't real? That is a fair question. I think that the most obvious way to answer that is just to say if somebody creates a fake Facebook profile pretending to be you, you've got a bigger problem.
That's on you. Right? That's on you. That's on you. Sorry if somebody put your stuff on the internet on our social autopsy, and they did it without your permission. Then that's on you. That too bad. Too bad. So sad. Too bad.
No, actually, the database presenting itself as an authority and partnering with anti-bullying foundations that's telling your employer it's real is much worse.
We're a secondhand problem and not one that's really that much of a threat.
What a wonderful tagline for your business. For me, witnessing social autopsy was one of those one and done things. Boom. Candace Owens? Yeah, fucked in the head. You don't fix that in a year. But that is enough time, apparently, to learn how to sweep such a thing under the rug. Downplay just how bad it was, merely a bout of slight naivete. My product was never launched because the Kickstarter was killed, so you can't use it to assess my character. It's not that deep, the seat didn't hit anyone. And convince everyone that in all of that, you were actually a victim. Your attempt at starting a business shut down by Zoe Quinn, the Gamergate girl. Because
That's her, Zoe Quinn. That's her name. That's her name.
we're going to own the libtards too hard with your website.
We
The
had an
world would
idea.
probably be a better place if everybody did have to use their
I
real
know.
name.
I actually am not opposed to that, but we weren't building it. You know, that
Why
was the
was
point.
she opposed to it? That's why I'm so confused.
Well, you know, the bread and butter of the Gamergate scandal is that people say she harassed herself.
I can't believe the
Look at Joe Rogan. Oh no, did she do? That's what I'm saying. There are more dumb people than I care to know of, and they're all in powerful positions with huge audiences. Tim Pool. Notice how y'all stopped talking about him faking his drive-by shooting. Okay, did y'all notice? Y'all notice how ain't nobody talking about him being Tim Smollett no more. So you got Megyn Kelly. That skinny white woman. She scared to death of Candace. Oh no, I don't want. That is somebody who had her ass beat by a black woman. I kid you not. I kid you not. I've never seen a. I'm looking at all the prominent white women on the right, and I'm like, what? Megyn Kelly is the only one that looks like she's scared to death. Well, Erica Kirk is scared of her, but not that scared of her that she won't meet with her in person. Okay. She would meet with her in person. Like, Helfer, let me show you my lawyers. But Megyn Kelly is definitely afraid of Candace.
SJWs did this to a black businesswoman. There was barely anything wrong with social autopsy. Candace Owens won the info war, if you will, and very handily. There's more detail that can be gone into, but I don't think it's worth anyone's time. This is just why, to me, as a person really, she's a write-off. As a piece on the board, the question people are more concerned with is she a grifter? I mean, if she is, grifters have pros and cons, right? If they're good at what they do and you can capture them, have them working for you, that can be great. So long as when you build them up, you recognize the risk that a powerful enough entity could come in and flip them, subverting all of what you're doing instantly. Especially if you end up being more loyal to them than they are to you. Handle with care. Make sure you're using them, they're not using you.
Ah. Dude, he is so intelligent. He is, like, seriously, he is really intelligent. That's not Candace, though. Huh. I'm sorry, I gotta hear that again.
Did this to a and very handily. There's more detail that can be gone into, but I don't think it's worth anyone's time. This is just why, to me, as a person really, she's a write-off. As a piece on the board, the question people are more concerned with is she a grifter? I mean, if she is, grifters have pros and cons, right? If they're good at what they do and you can capture them, have them working for you, that can be great. So long as when you build them up, you recognize the risk that a powerful enough entity could come in and flip them, subverting all of what you're doing instantly. Especially if you end up being more
That's exactly what happened.
loyal to them than they are to you.
That's exactly what's happening. Dude, listen, I tell you. I haven't been watching Harmful Opinions in a while. This man is extremely intelligent. Let me go over here to Alex Jones though. Poor Alex Jones. Y'all ready to listen to this? I haven't listened to Alex Jones in a long time. But who here has, okay, I'm going to ask a question. Who here has listened to Alex Jones? Consistency ever since he's been deplatformed. Because when I'm listening to Alex, I saw this video already, right? When I listen to this, I was like, what? Alex, you're supposed to call her out? What are you talking about? Something? I think we should be hold on. I'm not even going to tell you. I'm not even going to like spoil it for you. I'm going to let y'all listen to it completely from beginning to end. Okay?
As most of you that pay attention know, I am not the internet police. I don't infight. I don't try to focus on what other people are theorizing about or doing. I try to focus on what I'm doing. And so it's with a heavy heart that I am forced to put out another report, either tonight or tomorrow morning. We're adding a lot of information right now, a lot more research, dealing with Candace Owens. Just as soon as the whole Egyptian plane thing gets debunked with all the facts, now she's moved.
That was already debunked, though. Ooh, I said I wasn't going to stop. Sorry.
Dealing with Candace Owens. Just as soon as the whole Egyptian plane thing gets
that was already
with all the
debunked.
facts, now she's moved to something else, and I'm really worried about her. I'm worried about her and her mind, and I'm also worried about the country and where this is going. It's good to question Charlie Kirk's assassination. I have big questions. We know Cash Patel covered up an investigation into accomplices. I broke that. I'm up before it hit the mainstream news. So I'm not saying don't question. But her latest source and what she's done, implicating the U.S. military and all this other stuff, is just so damaging. And when you go investigate it, it's so crazy. And just like with the Egyptian plane, she says she has the metadata, then publish it.
She
and when
doesn't
she did publish
have
it, and it got fact-checked, it wasn't accurate. Candace, we care about you. But
the hell?
You just doubled down again with something even more absurd. And I hate watching you destroy yourself like this. We'll be covering it all with the reports coming out at Real Life Shows on X, on Rumble, and Infowars.com. God bless you all.
And that's why you lose, white folks.
Boom! Headshot!
That's why Islam coming into your countries and they just wiping the floor with you. We love you. What? You loving people that is destroying one of the best white men you ever had on the Republican side? That was a sure win to be the next president. I'm not even a Charlie Kirk fan. I never liked him. I would call him Master Charlie when he was alive. Never liked Charlie Kirk, but at least I know the truth. Is that Charlie ain't had no scandals in his backyard. Charlie ain't been caught on no hot mic talking about something you can grab them by the coochie and they'll let you. Okay, that's what I'm saying. Like Charlie was a sure win. He wasn't a good debater at first, but he became one. And y'all let Candace, I blame Erica for this too. Y'all let Candace take somebody that was a good representation of white people and you let her just spit and defecate all over his name and his legacy. I do not understand. Help me out though. Why are we let me, because I could care less. Why is everybody questioning the assassination? Why is everybody analyzing the bullets? And I know why, but I want y'all to tell me why. Why are you all saying that that's not how bullets work? Tyler isn't the shooter. Somebody's covering up like the FBI. What is the purpose of all of this? Well, what is the purpose of that? Why is that needed? Why is that talked about? The reason why the Republicans have the most conspiracy theorists, and we do. If you look at the left and the right, the left have the most medicated people that don't know what their genitals are and that are very violent. And the right have passive punching bags that believe that the earth is flat, that nobody ever been to the moon. And that all the planets that are up in the air is a what is that? What do they call that? A 3D something, whatever that they put out there, something like that. It's so stupid. It's so dumb. No. I don't believe it's like people like to be contrarian. If you believe in a sky daddy, you're going to be the perfect damn conspiracy theorist ever.
Boom! Headshot!
I don't know one agnostic or atheist or pagan conspiracy theorist. I don't know not one. Y'all know some? I don't know any. Y'all know some? Do y'all know any? Huh? They tried sweet talking Candace and talking around the bush about her until it's too late. Now everybody want to call her out. It's too late. She is so huge. She's unstoppable. What's your Lucian? What's your conspiracy theorist? What are you a conspiracy theorist about? What's your conspiracy theorist? You believe in Pizzagate or something? Yes, Joe. Holographic projection. That's it. Kansas is unstoppable. I'm okay with that too. I'm so okay with it. I'm so okay with her being unstoppable because I like it now. Cause yesterday, me and my besties, both of us was out, and her sister was talking all how she's so disappointed in Candace. And I said, girl, I thought you said you wasn't a fan of her. She said, well, no, I wasn't at first. But then, she drew me in because she's so entertaining. I said, what she drew you in with, girl? She said, well, Brigitte does look like a man. I said, Did you see Brigitte Ding Ding or Coochie? How the hell you know Brigitte don't have a coochie? Well, see, and she did what she did, the typical cult like, well, you got to watch the 8-part series. You got to watch. And I said, oh, you a dumbass. Okay, I want you to understand, I have no respect for your mental state of mind anymore. Lucian ain't say nothing. So you see how Lucian lied. See, Spitfire, this is why I don't believe most people in the chat. Because they lie like Lucian did. The only conspiracy theory I have is that it's him or hoes trans BF because they have the same job. What? The line could be mistaken. Girl, type English, Miss Freebird. The popular she gets, the more people dislike her again. No, it ain't the popular she gets. She's huge. What are you talking about? She said F the midterms. She said she don't care about the midterms. That's when people start getting triggered. Cause Republicans don't want to lose the midterms next year. There's a chance we may lose the House. I don't know. We may. It may be. We ain't gonna lose the Senate, but there's a chance we may lose the House. And then we got Tucker Carlson, Amfest. Now, this right here shocked me. How they sat there and let Tucker see, look at all these people like, yeah, Tucker, call out the Zionists, call out the Zion. He's calling out the Zionists by promoting Muslims. And I want you to listen how, let me tell you something. I love being black. I do. I saved the day with my blackness. Had I been in the crowd, I would have been like, boo! Boo! We ain't doing that, Muslims! Boo! 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 White people, all white Christians talking about, it's so uncomfortable how he's promoting Muslims. Jesus Lord. Watch this. Listen to Tucker. Listen to Qatar Carlson.
Most people agree with that. Most Americans have more.
Wait a minute. Y'all should see the Where's the subtitle? Hold on a second. Hold on. You got to see the subtitles. Let me see if they can get the one with the subtitles. Oh man, where's the one with the subtitles? Okay, guys, hold on. Let me see if I can put it in. Damn, you can't even do closed captions. This is bad. Okay. All right. I'm sorry. We're just going to have to when you really see what he says, go ahead. Let's go ahead and play it.
Most people agree with that. Most Americans have more in common with each other than they disagree on. And almost everybody agrees on that. And almost everybody is willing to tolerate a good faith argument about how to get there. Except a few. And they're the ones running around calling everyone an anti-Semite. But everyone else is like, yeah, of course, that should be the debate. And they'll vote for you. They want that because they know they haven't had that. That's the fact. And what you're watching now, attacking millions of Americans because they're Muslims?
I'm sorry. I've been making some good money off of that Somali damn. I had no idea so many people hated Somalians. Tree, if you search my name, you will see my comment. You mean if I scroll up, I see your comment? No, you ain't say nothing. This is all you said. Hi, pagan conspiracy theorist here. Then I asked you, what is your conspiracy theorist? And the next thing you said was, Trey, if you said banana would see my comment. What comment? You ain't gonna gaslight me.
It's disgusting. And I'm a Christian. I'm not a Muslim. I know there's a lot of effort to claim I'm a secret jihadi. I'm not.
You are.
You should not attack people on those grounds. And you're seeing it from Republicans. What the hell are you doing?
This is so great. This is so great. Hey, yeah, you know the people that been bombing things. You know, somebody made a video where they said all the most recent terrorist attacks, not the school shootings, but the most recent terrorist attack has been done by Muslims in this country. And Carlson is like, no, we should be fine with them. Imagine a black person saying, hey, all KKK members are not bad. There are 6,000 Klansmen worldwide. They want black people to hate all of them. Is that fair? Because of what a few Klansmen do? Don't you let these people ever tell you that they got the highest IQ. Don't you ever let them tell you this. Don't you ever let these people tell you that they are the species with the high IQ. Don't you ever let them get away with that. No, don't do that. I mean, they want to tell black people to hate all Klansmen. It ain't about hate. It ain't about hate. Let's be real. Okay? You're coming out the store with a nice gold watch that you just paid for. 30 bones. $30,000. And you're looking at it like, damn, this is a good ass watch. Now, you got to get to your car. You have two ways to get there. You can go the left way where you see a whole bunch of rabbi Jewish people, Orthodox Jewish, not rabbi. You see a whole bunch of Orthodox Jews with the little curlies, with little hats and the beards and stuff. And then you look at the other way, you see Tyrone, Pookie, Ray, Raheem, and they all got on black hoodies, and they got bandanas over their mouths, and they holding their pants up just like this, and they looking dead at your ass. Now, I don't need to ask you what area you want to go to get your car. Clearly you're going to go down there with the Orthodox Jews because they're not going to beat your ass and try to take your stuff, okay? Does that mean you hate, just because you didn't go that way where Tyrone, Pookie, Ray, and Raheem, does that mean you hate them? No, you don't hate them. You don't hate them at all. You don't know them to hate them. You just know that these type of people who dress this type of way, who tend to congregate near a jewelry store after you purchase a $30,000 watch, it's not going to be in your best interest. So you're going to go in a place that you're very, very safe. That has nothing to do with hate. That's all, everything have to do with pattern recognition. And that's intelligence. And actually wisdom, Lydia. There's a difference between being smart, and then there's a difference between being wise. So it had nothing to do with hate. So I don't even know why he doing this stuff. They want us to hate that. Ain't got nothing to do with hate. Listen, I profile. Everywhere I go, I profile. Everywhere I go. I see a white woman with blue hair. I ain't gonna talk to you. I see somebody with a full niqab. Let me make sure I be on the other side. Okay? I know exactly. I see a white guy with a ponytail and these glasses wearing skinny jeans. And if I see a Pookie with his pants half down off his ass, okay, with a hoodie, looking down as he walking this way, I'm like, not today. I profile. That's what I do. So we as Americans profile. That's why we're united. Have y'all noticed we're all united in reference to the Somalis?
You should not attack people on those grounds, and you're seeing it from Republicans. What the hell are you doing?
Okay. Tucker is saying because we criticize, that's attacking. Because Lord knows, ain't nobody physically attacking nobody on that side of the aisle. I can't say the other way around. I've seen some Islamic jihadis, Muslim. Hell, they killed. Wait a minute. Didn't the Islamists kill 3 of our soldiers in Syria?
Boom! Headshot!
I just remembered that. Recently. Didn't that happen recently? Didn't we have 3 American flagged covered coffins come into this country from Syria a week ago? Ain't no Jews do that. Ain't no Christians do that either. But we supposed to sit up here and listen to Carlson.
What you're doing is trying to divide the country, and I've lived through 50 years of this crap. All these fake race wars that they're always promoting.
Okay, Islam is not a race. Islam is a religion.
Oh, go hate each other while we loot the treasury. That's exactly what's going on.
Loot the treasury. That's a Jewish thing. How are Jews going to loot something they own, Qatar?
Boom!
Carlson?
Headshot!
You guys say that the Jews own the banks. Since when they got to loot a bank that they own? And the fact that they let this clown speak at Charlie Kirk, y'all so spineless, dude.
And most people are totally...
By the way, the entire audience is quiet, not giving him any feedback because they're cowards. We have the biggest cowards all on the right. I promise you we have the biggest cowards.
While we loot the treasury, that's exactly what's going on. And most people are totally sick of that. So, yes, there is a possibility for a huge coalition of decent people once they free their minds from the traps set for them by others and realize, wait a second, we all want to make this country better. And the 15% or 30% who don't, okay. You know, good luck in Maryland or wherever you wind up. But the rest of us would like to fix it.
Quiet. Just nothing. Just nothing. Absolutely nothing. And Megyn Kelly, hold on, I gotta go. I gotta go get ready for my live stream on my Patreon. But hold on, I gotta say this though. White folks, I'm rooting for you. I am a fan, okay? I am. I'm so hard on you because I know you could do better. And you know what I think when y'all are going to finally wake the hell up? When you're actually a minority. I think that has to happen. Now, understand that, and I told this to my white friends down here in Georgia. I said, listen, when you become a minority, you're going to realize, hey, it sucks being a minority. And that's when y'all gonna wake up. And what you gonna do is start having babies. Okay? You're gonna start getting white people from other countries to build up your population. And then you're gonna get back to being the majority again. But right now, y'all gonna have to continue getting your ass beat. Y'all gonna have to see. Y'all need to get out of that guilt, and that probably maybe that has to get beaten out of you. I hope that doesn't have to be the case, but I'm wondering that's what it's gonna take. I wonder if that's what it takes for y'all to finally wake up. Hold on, I'm gonna share something with you guys. So on Twitter, you have a lot of these men that want to say that they're racist by going into black areas and using the N-word with the hard R, doing the Nazi salute, and you know, getting the swastika tattooed on their body. But there are two, what is it, woman propagandist, and the other one name is Chud Builder, right? I saw somebody do a video on both of them. Turns out that these two men, so-called racist men, really want the approval of black men, because on like one of them, Chud Builder, has been taking pictures by black men so many times. Like he's like, oh, I there's some cool ones. I want you to understand, a real racist never have cool black friends.
Boom! Headshot!
And I'm tired of the phonies out here pretending to be white supreme pieces. I know a couple of white supreme pieces. I'm gonna tell y'all how they act. Okay, they're quiet. They're respectful too. They don't call black people the N-word with hard R. They open the door for you. If you're a woman, don't matter no matter what your color is. So when I used to be a bodyguard for some exotic dancers, one of my favorite places besides IHOP to go to, because remember, the club don't close until 3, 4, unless you at a 24-hour strip club. That's different. But we would be in there about 5 o'clock getting breakfast. And there was this one particular IHOP. The chef there would let me tip him by keeping the waffle in there a little bit long, because I love my waffles crunchy. Okay? And he always knew when I came in there, he knew how to make my waffles. But because we was in there so early and late, there was only a few of us in there. And one guy, we'll call him Jethro. Jethro was in there reading his newspaper, and would have his coffee with whatever it is, some kind of steak dinner, whatever, right? Jethro would mind his business, wouldn't say nothing bad. If we spoke to him and said good morning, he'll say good morning, this, that, and the other, whatever. One particular time we pulled up, and there was a black man. Maybe he was a crackhead, I'm not sure. But he was cussing Jethro out. And Jethro said, look, I don't want no problem, but don't mess with my truck. And that crackhead said, man, F your truck, F your truck. And then he took out his ding-ding and peed on Jethro's truck. And Jethro took his big old fist, went all the way from Florida, Tallahassee, Florida, brought that sucker all the way back up to Georgia, and pow! Have anybody ever seen somebody get knocked out that they start snoring? I didn't know that was a thing until I saw this happen. Okay? All right? Yeah, Waffle House are open 24 hours. I'm talking about the club, not the strip club, Miss Freebird. Pay attention! The strip club closes at 3 or 4 or 5. That's strip club, not Waffle House. The strip club. Okay. He knocked him out like cold. And I was like, holy smokes. So he looks back, he looks at all of us, and he gives me a $50 bill and said, y'all go on in there and y'all enjoy anything you want. I'll see you in a couple of days. And I instinctively knew that was our key, that was our clue to leave the area and go inside. And so while we're in there, the waitresses are in there watching all of this, and they're like, and the woman, one of the waitresses was holding up a pot of coffee like, that poor bastard, we ain't gonna be seeing him no more. And I never asked her what that was about. Jethro did that. Jethro took that man, put him in the back of his truck, and we never saw him. Next time we saw Jethro, we never asked. Jethro's like, good morning. And Jethro had a Confederate flag tattooed to this part of his fist. That's a real white supreme pizza. And those are the ones that you don't mess with. They don't go out and trigger nobody. They don't go out and say the N word with the hard R to get it for clips and stuff like that. They don't do that. They move in silence. You don't know who they are. Because a real one ain't gonna have no black friends. He'll be nice and respectful. They don't hang like that. So when I see these idiots online, all I see is white people who are so fascinated and obsessed with black people that the only way they can get our attention is by saying, racist slurs, racist things. That Lily Gaddis girl, do you understand? Nobody loves black women more than her. You know what and I said this, did I say this to TJ? No, I said it's to Nathan. I said, Nathan, the reason why Lily Gaddis is jealous of black women because she's a single baby mama and no white man want her.
Boom! Headshot!
She don't have no support system. Say what you want about single black mothers. Say what you want. But they got a support system in the black community. I'm not part of the black community. I'm just saying they got a support system in the black community. A black single mama could be having some problems getting her child into the seat while another child is running away, and another black woman or a black single mama will come and help her. Lily will never excuse that. Will never experience that. She'll never know how that is. Black or white would never help her. No matter how she's struggling and survive, she envies the fact because she's tainted because she had a baby by a black man or a half black man. I don't care. White men don't want her. White men don't want her. She ain't got no support. She ain't got no support system. She don't have a community that normalize her as a single baby mama. If you ever go into her comments, no matter what she posts, there's going to be one or two white men that's going to call her a mud shark or call her shut up hoe, you had a baby by a non-white, blah, 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 or call her Jewish. Black women ain't got to go through that. And she envies that about black women. Also, one last thing. Black women have an incredible amount of self-esteem. And in some cases, I don't know why. Because when I see a 300-pound black woman with blue hair, okay, and gold nose piercing with a leopard halter top, with white spandex pants and flip-flops, with her head held high. How you doing? Hi, girl. Oh my goodness. Girl, like get on the phone. Girl, did you see that movie? Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. I'm like, wow. Now they need to put that type of self-esteem in a jar and sell that sucker, okay? Because you see white women looking like Sydney Sweeney all with low self-esteem, talking about something, I'm so fat. I'm so ugly. And then they get Botox, all this work done to their face. So disappointing. And then I wish y'all ladies in your 20s stop getting stuff to your face. You making yourself look old. Anyway, I gotta go. The blonde hair is a special type of guy. Yeah, but they you know what? Hold on. Cornelius. I never liked black women with blonde hair. But I have to admit something. They are so confident with it that they convince me that they look good.
Boom! Headshot!
It is the most amazing thing ever. I don't like it. But after they talking to me and everything and this style, I'm like, you know, it doesn't look too bad. They Jedi mind tricked me to like that damn blonde wig on their head. I like, what is this black woman magic that you speak of? All right, guys. All right. Blonde hair, but they got it made about other wearing braids. Blonde hair, but they get mad. That's true. Hey, I didn't say they weren't hypocrites. Okay, I don't give a damn about white people having dreads or braids. And I don't care about them using the N-word with the A. I don't care. Let them. All right, guys, let me go ahead and get ready for my Patreon live stream. I thank you guys for coming by. I really appreciate it. And I will see you all. I will see you all in a video. Hopefully I can have a video for you guys tomorrow. I don't know. We'll see. All right. Love ya. I mean it. Later,